Any frames lost? Are we live now? Let's see. Are we live? Because I don't see bull crap. I'm sorry, I'm saying so that early, but whatever. Are we live now? Let's see. Okay, we are actually live now. So, yeah. Hi guys and girls, Pabblo here, and today I'm going to be looking at some gaming PCs and potentially rant about some of these gaming PCs because, you know, I am quite the gaming PC aficionado. That's what I'm call it. I must call myself like a gaming PC aficionado, even though I literally do not have a gaming PC. All I currently have is just a laptop, a pretty powerful laptop at that, but it's not a gaming laptop. It is definitely not a gaming laptop for that matter. Definitely not a gaming laptop for that matter. Definitely not gaming. No, no, no. I have a gaming PC. All I currently have is just a. So yeah, not really great to hear, but you know, I guess we can always just whatever. You know, but I am going to be looking at some gaming PCs right now. Um, so the first website we're going to be looking at is obviously the well, not the best website you should be looking for gaming PCs right now, especially not in my country, whatever. And that is going to be Amazon. I'm currently have a Polish Amazon over here. This is the Polish Amazon. This is not Amazon.com. Why does it say to Warsaw? I'm not in Warsaw, am I? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in Warsaw. Anyway, let's just look at some gaming pieces. First we actually have over here is this HP Omen, and it says recommended for me specifically. So that's actually we actually have over here for this price, which is going to be let me just Google it to peel into euro. What is the price to euro? Euro. What is the price from euro? 47.83. That's roughly 1100 euro. Okay, the price is actually pretty not that bad. Honestly, if I'm better. How much is 5,000? Nearly 1200 euro. Okay, that's my budget of 5,000 zloty, which is roughly 1200 euro. So interesting. Let's see. We got the HP Omen. It says it's a gaming computer. It's a gaming PC. It has an Intel Core i5 14400F, which kind of concerns me because it is that generation Intel CPUs that could potentially explode overnight. So I don't know. Otherwise, let's see. We got an NVIDIA RTX 5060. It is the model with only 8 gigs of GDDR7 VRAM, but I don't think it's whatever. We also got 60 gigs of DDR5, a 1 terabyte SSD, and Windows 11 Home and Wi-Fi 6. All right, that's great to see. But obviously it's an OEM pre-built, so it's probably going to be in not the best condition, at least not the best quality. Sorry. Actually, I've noticed it's actually a bit silent. However, let me just adjust my thingamajig over here. Okay, we're good. Well, I think we're actually good. Let me just adjust my volume a little bit because I think I actually went a bit too loud for that matter. Okay, now it should be good. Okay, now I think we're good. Good. Good, good. Let's just say that. Okay, let me just check my phone if there's anything going on because I mean, update, because my Samsung wants an update. I finally have a new phone after all. Finally, a decent Samsung phone about, which is, I mean, it's nothing new as like Samsung Galaxy S25 or whatever, but you know, it's not a bad phone for that matter. It is a pretty decent phone, my Samsung. Wait, sorry. Let me just shut down some things right now because I mean I should probably shut down a few things right now because yeah, I I'm probably not gonna need some things right now. I probably will need a David does text a video on my uh tabs. Okay, let's just do this again. Okay, we got a HP Omen, now we got a HP Victus. What's the difference between that and the HP Omen? Let's actually see. Okay, we got a pretty much the same thing. I mean, we have got the, I believe, the exact same CPU as that HP Omen over here. Same Core i5. However, we do have only 16 gigs of DDR4. We do have, okay, so we have, okay, it looks like we also have some amount of RAM too, for that matter. Although, is it DDR4 or was it DDR5 on the Omen? It was DDR5 on the Omen. Although it's only DDR4 on the Victus. Whatever. Maybe not whatever. Actually, doesn't really. Whatever. I say whatever a lot, but whatever. We also only got a 512 gigabyte SSD, which I don't think is actually too bad, but you know, it could be worse, you know. And we also have an RTX 4060, which is, I believe, it's gonna be a bit worse than the RTX 5060 on the Omen. Although we do also have only a little bit of a smaller price for that matter, only a little bit smaller. And that kind of concerns me because I actually got not, because I actually got some somewhat worse specs than that, and it's only like less than €100 like off. It's only like 300 zloty off. So that's interesting. Next we got this one, which yeah, look at that name, Greed Ultra PC. Let's see how greedy the seller of this PC is. I mean, it literally has greed in the name. Oh, it's no way it's a registered trademark. Absolutely no way it's a registered trademark. Okay, anyway, let's actually what I actually got over here. So, Greed Ultra PC with an Intel Core 12 Gen. It doesn't say if it's an i3 or an i5 or an i7, which is a bit concerning. It says fast computer plus computer at a, I think it's a processor speed of 4.4 gigahertz, which could be literally anything for that matter. It says it has 16 gigs of RAM, which could be, I mean, it could be DDR4. It must be DDR4 because it's a 12 gen. It can be DDR3, right? At least it claims to be a 12 gen. I don't know. Okay. It also has a 1TB SSD and a 1TB hard drive. And a DVD drive? Really? That's something unexpected. But there's also no claim of a GPU, so I think it's gonna have the integrated graphics, whatever. It's probably have the Intel Iris Z or like UHD graphics or whatever. It's probably have that right. Let's actually see. We got a DVI to HDMI. Does this seriously have? No way. It has an HDMI adapter. Is this PC so old that it doesn't support HDMI natively? Come on. Okay, it is at least an i5, which is not too bad. It is 6 cores, but it has no hyperthreading. Really? Okay. It also has 6 gigs of RAM, but at only 2133 megahertz. That is interesting, because my laptop has 60 gigs of RAM, but it's at 3200 megahertz, so that's interesting. And a 1TB SSD, which, alright, not too bad. What else actually got over here? What about the graphics card? I mean, it didn't. Okay, I mean, it didn't explicitly say what graphics card actually has, so it's so I'm guessing it probably has no dedicated graphics card for that matter. So let's see. Okay. And yep, I was correct. It has no dedicated graphics card for that matter. The only graphics card it has is the IGP, which is the Intel Usual Graphics 730. 730. Yeah, great. So here. Yeah, so it's not exactly a gaming PC, is it? But then again, it never really claimed to be a gaming PC. At least it never explicitly claimed to be a gaming PC, so that's kind of my fault. Anyway, let's just look at another PC over here. We got a. Oh, that's expensive over here. That's probably a legit one, but whatever. What is this one? Okay, that's just a PC case, so that is burp internally. Okay, I think I did just burp internally. Great, very great. What else has it got? Oh, we got another greed, but I'm not gonna look at it. What about this MSI? That's interesting over here. This MSI. Okay. Let's see what I actually got over here. Okay, we got a MSI Mag Meta S. Wait a minute. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this one. Sorry, I'm not doing this one. What about another one? Nope. Nope. Can you just look at like the best sellers maybe? Okay, that's just okay. What we actually got over here, we got a PC com, which is apparently some sort of price, but it doesn't actually explicitly say what price, so unavailable. Great. What about this one? Also unavailable. Great. What about some other ones? Okay, let me just look at some ones which are actually available. We got a Optiplex, which obviously that's the best seller because it's a little business PC, so that's obviously expected. What about this one? Okay, so that's also unavailable. Okay, but whatever. I say whatever too many times. I'm sorry, but just say whatever too many times. Whatever. Okay, we got this one. Jim Casino is also unavailable because of a lack of a price point. So, okay. This one's interesting over here. It says it's a gaming PC right now. It's actually this one actually says explicitly it's a gaming PC. So that's interesting to actually see. It's a Lenovo Idea Center Gaming 5. Blah 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 blah. Let's see what specs actually claims to have. So we have an AMD Ryzen 5 5600G, which means that this. Now G is interesting over here. Now the G at the end is actually quite interesting because that actually means that this GPU probably, this CPU actually has an iGPU inside of it. Okay, let's see. 8 gigs of RAM? Seriously, in the big 26? 8 gigs of RAM? My goodness, in the big 2026, 8 gigs of RAM? Come on, like, I thought I thought that 16 gigabytes was minimum. Like that's gonna be painful to play any kind of games on 8 gigs of RAM. Like I'm sorry, but this isn't but this isn't 2019 anymore. Like I thought like at least 16 gigs of RAM, please. Otherwise, the 512 gigabytes is not too bad. It does have an RTX 3050, but 12 gigabytes. I don't think they made 12 gigabyte RTX 3050, did they? It also has a Windows 11 Home. Plus, it has a keyboard, but it's an AZERTY keyboard, which means to play from France, something like that. So it's played from like France or whatever other country, because I mean that's where AZERTY is popular. And the USB mouse, which is okay. Okay. Oh, it's actually. Oh wait, it's not a 3050. Oh wait, it's actually not a 3050. It's actually 3060. Sorry. And that I believe was actually in it with 12 gigabyte variant, so actually that's not too bad to actually hear. All right. Also, it actually does have 6 gigs of RAM. It's just misleading. Okay, I'm okay. I'm immediately that's better to hear. Great. What about this one? That's why another unavailable builds. So I'm like about these ones, but let's actually see what I actually got over here. Yeah, this one's just interesting over here. That's an Actina Comac GIP 0088 computer with an Intel Core i5-2400F, which is, I guess, not too bad a CPU for that matter. 16 gigs of RAM, which I'm guessing probably DDR4, and a 1TB SSD. Okay, but okay, I thought it was going to have an iGPU, but no, it is an iGPU. What do you mean it has a dedicated graphics? That's an iGPU. Like, come on. What do you mean? What do you mean this has dedicated graphics? What do you mean this has dedicated graphics over here? Like, come on. Intel graphics. That's an iGPU over here. Also, come on. This is like a gaming PC over here, and it doesn't have a GPU. I mean, at Fireprice, I guess, what am I expecting right now? But whatever. Okay. What about this Deep Gaming Hako? That is way too cheap for that matter. That is way too cheap. What the? That is way too cheap for that matter. There's absolutely no way this costs like €100 or something like that. Yeah, €110. No way it costs that much. No way it costs so little. Sorry. Uh, we actually got Ryzen 7 7X, which is actually a pretty good CPU, but you know what? Actually, I think this is almost too good. I think it's too good to be true for that matter. I actually think this actually is. I think this is a scam because there is absolutely no way you guys get such good specs for so little, honestly, for that matter. Okay, what about this one? It says PC di Ferro V something i7 27. Okay, what does this actually say it has? Oh no. The only image is one, like, it only has one low quality image. I think it's another scam over here because look at this. It has an i7 1200, which is not too bad. 16 gigs of RAM, which is also not too bad. A 500 gigabyte SSD, NVMe, which is not too bad. Then it says DVD drive. That is not great. Also has only an iGPU, so whatever. Not really worth my attention. Next we got some bunch of Figmagoos over here. What about these ones? Okay, got a bunch of these ones. Okay. Then we're just gonna go over to number 50, which is this one. This boost box thing. Oh, I actually have 2 pictures over here. That's actually pretty good. Okay, we got here this one. Amazon exclusive? No way. Oh, but let's actually see. Let's see. What do we actually have inside of this? Okay. AMD Ryzen 5 4500, which is not too bad of a CPU. Although it is a fairly old one. I think it's like a Zen 2 CPU, so it's actually interesting to see. We're still being there. A 1TB SSD, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, a GTX 1650, which is absolutely not what I expected. Like, not even RTX graphics, that's a GTX, which is interesting. HDMI, DVI display, ESP, blah blah blah. Okay, so that is actually probably not too bad a computer for that matter. That's actually probably a decent one for that matter. Also, it's in a Be Quiet case, which is also pretty good for that matter. That may not be too bad an option for that matter. I mean, honestly, whatever. But there's also the second picture over here, obviously. Oh wait, there's no actually missed over here. Number 48, this Huawei Mate Station over here. What do we actually have over here? Let's actually see. Okay, we got this Huawei Mate Station S, which is okay. Huawei Not really a brand I would not exactly a brand I would trust, but let's see. Okay, what have we actually got over here? So we got a Ryzen 5 4600G. Is this an APU? Because, I mean, is this a Zen 2 APU? I think it's an APU. Also, 8 gigs of RAM in this world. Come on. Also, wait, 260 by C, which I guess is much more of a problem than the 8 gigs of RAM, but whatever. AMD Radeon? Oh, it doesn't have it doesn't even have Windows 11. It has Windows 10. That's an old PC over here. Probably used, I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay. No. Wait. What? 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 No, 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 no. Wait. It says it's integrated, but it says it has an RX 560. That's a DGP over here. That's a dedicated GP over here. What is happening over here? Also, it doesn't say about RAM. It just says it has 256 gigabytes of RAM. Same thing as the the SSD space. So whatever. What about this one? Okay, now let's go to the second page over here. Second page. Okay, what about this one? It says PC gaming RGB. Okay, let's see what we actually got over here. We got a Ryzen 7 5700X, an RTX 5060, a 32 gigs of RAM, almost a 30 GB SSD, which would be actually honestly very bad, but whatever. A 1 TB SSD, M.2, Wi-Fi 1.7, and DLSS 4. Also, it's not available, but it does actually list the price, which is interesting. Honestly, that's probably not a better option, but it could involve Windows 1. It's just a W11 Pro. Come on, bro. Come on, Vist. Vist, whatever it's called. Way actually over here, okay. AMD Ryzen 7, which is actually not too bad. Not too bad of a CPU for that matter. We have an A520, which I'm not sure how cheap a motherboard is, but okay. 32 gigs of DDR4. It is apparently 3200 megahertz. It also has RTX 56, which is actually not too bad an option for that matter. So I guess that's actually not a bad option for that matter. At least compared to the others. What else have we got over here? What else have we got? What else have we got? What else have we got? I want some like relatively inexpensive option. Okay, we got this one. This Atos RGB, which has a Ryzen 5 3600. That's an older GPU over here. Sorry, CPU. That's an older processor over here. And then an RTX 5060. Okay. Does it really have an RTX 5060? Also has a Vist thing. Also a Vist. I mean, look, it even has the same it even has the same bootleg Windows image over here. Okay, that is interesting over here. It's pretty much the same as that 5700X, but it's just way cheaper. Okay, interesting. It also has less RAM, I think, compared to the other one, which had I think 32 gigs. Yeah, it had 32 gigs of RAM, so that's interesting over here. What else have we also got over here? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? No. The Sphinx Center, which is definitely not a gaming PC, something like this one. This one's just over here, but that's not spec, something like this one. What about this? No. This one's just over here. It actually says, okay, we have Vibox i48 PC Gamer Complete 22-inch écran. Yeah, it says 2020 Ik Home. It's in French, I think. AMD Ryzen 3 30G? I really hope this is like Zen 1 or whatever. 4 gigahertz? Radeon Vega 8? Oh, come on, there's an iGPU over here. And an early iteration of an iGPU at that. Uh, 16 gigs of RAM, which is actually not too bad. A 1 terabyte SSD and Windows 11, which is, again, once again, not too bad. But, come on. Come on, that's an old CPU. And a pretty old iGPU too, for that matter. So, really, not worth it. What else actually got over here? That's about it, honestly. Maybe I can look at something else over here, like, this? Boosh? What about this one? Okay, not what I was looking for, but, can I look at something else over here, like, can I look at something else, like, to this one? Maybe this one would be interesting over here. This is highest rated. Seems to be mainly these couple thingamagoos over here. Got a bunch of, okay, we still got a bunch of unavailable ones, but we got mostly the same thing over here as for us mostly. So there's nothing really much to talk about, honestly, for that matter. But we do have a far more, but we do have a lot more pages over here, so that should be interesting over here. Beastcom Q3, that's over here. We got an AMD Ryzen 5 3400G. It says 4K Vega, but I'm pretty sure it's like a Vega 8 or like a Vega 11 or something. Yeah, it's an early iGPU, so whatever. 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe, which is not too bad, but like the CPU is I think fairly meh, and the Vega graphics card, which is definitely an iGPU, that's even more just bad. So I'm not even gonna bother with this one. Yeah. What else we actually got over here? Okay, got any other ones we actually got over here? That one's just over here, but it's another one of those, isn't it? Ryzen 750 700G, and then another Vega 8. Seriously, AMD? Also, seriously, the PC manufacturers? Come on, this is not a gaming PC. This is like a business PC at most. Or like a light gaming PC at most, for that matter. It does have 32 gigs of DDR4, which is actually not too bad. Like, honestly, that's actually very good. Like, 32 gigs of DDR4. That's actually pretty good. And a 1 terabyte SSD. Wi-Fi, 1 Pro. 24 inch monitor. Okay. Okay, but come on. Seriously? No DGPU? Like, come on. Not even like a entry level GPU for that matter. Okay. Okay. Let's see some more options over here. What's interesting over here? That may not be too bad over here. Except it is. I lied. Let's see. AMD Ryzen 7 8700G. And then they don't even bother with a dedicated graphics card. If you're gonna make a PC cost so much, then at least include like at least even like an entry level graphics card. Like even something like an RX 7600 is gonna be good enough for that matter. And I'm pretty sure I can find an RX 9060 XT rigs. Like I'm pretty sure I can find RX 9060 rigs for less than this iGPU nonsense. It does have 32 gigs of DDR5, which is not too bad, and 1 terabyte SSD, but come on. If it's gonna be a gaming PC, then like at least include a dedicated GPU. Like, come on, at least have some whatever. Come on. If this is like me look pretty bad CPU for that matter. It's the GPU that's just pretty meh because not dedicated. It's just an iGPU. Like, come on, bro. What about this one? It's probably just not even a display gaming PC. What about no? What about this one? That's actually a mini PC. That is very interesting over here. Okay. Terra PC Business 100 1000. Sorry. 4.7 gigahertz. Okay, it doesn't say. Okay, immediately that's sauce over here. It doesn't say what CPU it actually has. Plus, it has only 8 gigabytes of DDR5. Plus, it may not even have an SSD. Which is interesting. It may still have a mechanical hard drive over here, which is interesting, but not of a right way, not a good way, mind you, but whatever. Okay, yeah. No, come on. Is there literally no information about the CPU? No, there's literally no information about the CPU. It's just a mini PC. Probably an ordinary mini PC, but whatever. What about this one? This one's just over here, but not in a good way. Ace for Aspire. Okay. Compact Tower. i5 14400, which is not too bad. 8 gigs of RAM in this economy. 512 gigs of S. Okay, that's not too bad. iGPU, which is kind of expected because it looks to be a business PC, so whatever. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be talking too much about the iGPU because it's not a gaming PC. Doesn't At least doesn't claim to be a gaming PC, so that's good. But come on, 8 gigs of RAM. That is just pretty much criminal at this point. Okay, what else do I actually got over here? Another one. Although this time of an i3. Although this time has an i3 instead of an like an i5, so yeah. And still the 8 gigs of RAM. No way. Any more I can look at? Any more? Oh, this one. What does it have? Okay, it says this one. It says i5 14400. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad of a CPU. 16 gigs of DDR5. Okay, 1 TB SSD. 730. Okay, it's basically your average business PC for a minute. It just looks to be average business. Wait a minute. That's an i7 on the photo, but it claims to have an i5. Make up your own mind, PC manufacturer, or PC seller, I guess, because from my manufacturer over here. Then something in presumably Italian. Okay. No, that's a WhatsApp link. No. 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 Bad. Core i5 14400. Okay. Okay, clips of an i5, but why was there an i7 photo? That is interesting over here. Okay. Let's just claim that WhatsApp link didn't exist, because why was there a WhatsApp link? No, why was there a WhatsApp link? Okay, I'm just at a loss for words. Okay, what about this one? This Asus over here. Ooh, it has a is that a laptop i5? i5 13420H. Is that a laptop i5? Okay. At least it has 16 gigs of DDR5 and a 512 GB SSD, so it's not too much complaint about this, because honestly it seems to be in an otherwise ordinary business PC for that matter, so I'm not complaining too much about it. Okay, what else do we actually got over here? That's interesting over here. We got a Lenovo Look Tower with an i5 14400F, So definitely must be a DGP on there. 16 gigs of RAM, a 1TB SSD, and an RTX 4060. Okay. Interesting GPU choice, but alright. Not too bad of an option. You know, not very much to talk about for that matter. Okay, GBD win? Okay, if that's like one of those like PDA thing we do, so whatever. Uh, what about any other ones I can actually talk about? And maybe Bash. This one's I think is just the same like ordinary business PC. Probably has a WhatsApp link over here. Yep, it has a WhatsApp link. No, 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 I'm not doing this one. I'm sorry. No, no, absolutely not. No, no, no. What about so page 4? I'm actually gonna go page 5 and have that because I'm kind of starting to run out of time. So let's see. Oh, we got what else I showed over here. That's a case. Like it's literally just a PC case, not even like a full blown PC. It's just a PC case. So whatever. Uh, that's. Oh no way! No way! Oh, it has Linux. That's the only side of over here. Captiva. No, 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 no. Nook. What about this Captiva? Blah 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 blah. It has what's actually have over here? Captiva PC Advanced Gaming blah 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 blah. Okay, it has a AMD Ryzen 5 5500. Okay. Okay, it has a B550 plate, which is not too bad. 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. Okay, and an RTX 4060, which is actually not a bad option. Okay, not much home to write on. Okay, great. Okay. What about some other ones I should talk about? Okay, that one's interesting, but whatever. Let's go to page 5. We're slowly starting to run out of things to bash, honestly, for that matter. Okay, what else? What have we actually got over here? Okay, we got an i5 1200F. Okay, not too bad. 16 gigs of RAM. Okay. An RTX 3050. Albeit it is unfortunately a 6 GB model. It is unfortunately a model of 6 gigs of GDDR6. Okay, so it is unfortunately a model of 6 gigs of VRAM, which is not that great, to be honest. I really would like it to be the 8 gig model because that actually would give me some pretty good performance potentially. It does have a 2 TB SD, which is honestly very good. Very good for 2 TB SD is just very good. So honestly, besides the GPU, there's nothing to write about on that matter. It's not about as good PC. Okay, what about someone else I should talk about? Okay, maybe it's Captiva. Wait, I gotta see this right now. Captiva, Advanced Gaming, i7, Intel Core, i7 gigabytes, DDR4 SD RAM. Okay, doesn't x60 what i7 actually says. Oh no, it actually says here the i7 12700F. Okay, that's not too bad. 1 TB SSD and then RTX 3050. Hopefully it's the 8 gig model because I swear if it's not the 8 gig model, I'm gonna be at least a little bit angry. I'm gonna be at least a little bit angry. Let's see. Okay, let's see. What did I just misspell Intel? Intex Core 7? Seriously? How do you misspell Intel? Excuse me. I'm sorry, but how do you misspell Intel? How do you do that? How? This is like the first time I've ever seen that. Besides like scam sites, honestly, which I mean it could actually be one. I'm not you know, whatever. Okay, okay, Intel Core i7, okay. 6 gig with DDR4, 500 megahertz, blah blah blah. What else should I search for, however? Okay, it is okay, it is the 8 gig model. Okay. So that is actually pretty good PC, honestly. It is a little bit overpriced, however, but it is not much good gaming PC. Next up, that's a gaming that's a PC case. That's another PC case. Another PC case. What else actually got over here? Oh, what is an iPhone case doing right here? What is it? What is it doing right here? Oh, I'm sorry. No, 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 no. Okay. Nope. And I think that's about it. Let's actually do analytics over here. Nope, not really any viewers over here. Oh, okay, there actually were a few concurrent viewers over here, but that's interesting over here. Actually, I had 2 viewers over here, interestingly enough, so that's interesting over here. Okay. Anyway, because live stream's not over, it's still far from over, so I'm just gonna go look at some other thingamajigs over here. Let's just go from Amazon to Polish Amazon. My country's own version of Amazon, which is Allegro. That is basically my country's version of Amazon. I'm actually gonna look at Allegro, the Polish Amazon over here, and that's similar to called Allegro Lokalnie. Why is Allegro trying to sell me a bunch of 35mm film? Why is Allegro trying to sell me Fomapan 400 35mm? Why is it trying to sell me 35mm film? I mean, I do have a few 35mm cameras, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use them. But at least I can find Foam Pan for relatively cheap, so that's good to see. But anyway, enough talking. We're going to go over to Electronica, which is this one, electronics, and go to this, which should be, I think, potentially worse than the. I think it could be potentially worse than the Amazon listings for that matter, but let's actually see. What have we got over here? Let's see. BSG Venom gaming PC. So here's explicitly says the gaming PC over here. Core i7 doesn't say which Core i7, so it could be really any Core i7 for that matter, even like a Super O1, which it could be. 16 gigs of RAM, okay. 500 gigabytes, which is not too bad. Ooh, GT 1030. Oh yeah, look at that. Nope. That's like a 14-year-old CPU at this point. Come on. Nope. This is just crap. This is just crap, honestly. Nope. I'm about to say no. Okay, what else have we over here? Got an AIO terminal. Let's see we go. This was just over here because that's probably actually not be too bad. However, Hogwarts Legacy. Okay. What do we actually have over here? Okay, we got a gaming PC with a Ryzen 5. Okay, we've got a Ryzen, so it's probably not gonna be some sort of i7 2700 like was in the earlier listing over here, but okay. We have an RTX 5060, which is actually not gonna be too bad option right now. 1 terabyte of NVMe storage, which is not too bad, and honestly, I think okay, I was going to complain about RAM, but I list RAM right here as 32 gigabytes, which is actually a very good amount for that matter. So honestly, this may not be too bad of a PC. Honestly, it may actually be a pretty good PC for that matter. Honestly, what Ryzen does it actually have, however, for that matter? What Ryzen? Hmm. Okay, Ryzen 5 5500, which is actually a bit on the low end, but not too bad for that matters. So you know what? Not complaining about that one. Okay, what about this one? Beast. Oh, is that the same PC I just saw before on Amazon? With that, yup. It's one of those iGPU listings. Nope, not bothersome. Not giving them more time. Nope. No. What about this one? That is over here, but it says from Fox Computer. And it's let's see, we got F game, we have an i5 12400, which is actually not too bad CPU. 30 gigs of presumably DDR4 RAM, which is once again very good for that matter. An RTX 5060, a 1TB M.2 SSD. Okay, not too bad for that matter. Honestly, that's honestly maybe it's actually honestly pretty good listing if it's actually correct. Okay, what else have I got over here? This Beast Human which I'm guessing is yet another IGP listing because it doesn't actually explicitly save the CPU. Except, never mind. It does actually have a GPU inside. And an RTX 5060 no less, which is pretty good. It also has 30 gigs of RAM and a 1TB SSD. Really not too bad an option for that matter. Okay, what else have I actually got over here? Okay, it literally says Vega 11 over here, so I'm like, probably some this is an IGPU listing. It says the gaming computer, but it's not. Okay, let's see what I got over here. That's another IGPU listing. I can see already by the Vega over here. That's another one. Another gaming computer that claims to have no, here it actually doesn't claim to have gaming computers. Actually, I'm actually a little bit of slack over here, but cut a little bit of slack. What else have I got over here? Another gaming PC that claims to be a gaming PC but actually isn't. And we got this one, which is hopefully not another one of those, but okay. We got a Ryzen 57X and an RTX 5060. Okay, not too bad. 32 gigs of RAM and 1 TB SSD. I am actually surprised at how much praise I'm giving these PCs, honestly. Considering we are talking about Polish Amazon after all, so honestly, I'm surprised at how much praise I'm giving these PCs, honestly, for that matter. Oh well, there is still a lot of not praise to give for example this PC, which is yet another gaming PC that claims to be a gaming PC but isn't. And hopefully, okay, I think it's going to be yet another one of those fake gaming PCs, like this faux gaming PCs right here. I can already see right here, RX Vega 8, iGPU, not worth it. It has a lot of RAM, it has a lot of storage, but it has an iGPU, so it's not a gaming PC. Or at least not now for like actual serious gaming for that matter. Maybe for Minecraft's okay, but for anything else, not really. Okay, what else? Okay, that's another one of those. No buffer. Nope. This one is interesting, but I think nope. It says Vega 11 here, so nope. Ooh, Mac Studio. That's wait for real, for real. What? This is actually a legit listing, but this actually blows most of these pieces out of the water. Like, honestly, if this is actually realistic, then honestly, this is actually a very good PC for that matter. Because it's a Mac Studio. What do you expect? It's gonna be it's for like heavy duty PC over here. We got a literal heavy duty PC for like what, 1,200 euros something like that. Not too bad for that matter. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Okay, where's this one? It says fast Core i7, but it's I mean, not yeah, was like one of those old ones. So okay, let's see. i7, 8 times for gigahertz. Okay, it may not be. Okay, so it actually may not be an i7 because I was like dual core, two or for quad core, whatever. 30 gigs of RAM, 1 TB of storage. Or I was looking to have like a I don't know, two blah blah blah, whatever. DVDR double, that's a very weird one, but whatever. Oh, it still has quite an old CPU over here because it has an i7 6th gen, which is why is not loading anything over here? Is my live stream still working? Okay, it is actually working. It's just the website just refusing to load. Thing, my goose. Oh no. This is bad on so many levels. I mean, it has an AMD Ryzen, but it has Ryzen 3, which is I guess not too bad, but like, I mean, it's like it's a business PC, so whatever. What am I expecting right now? But oh, come on. I mean, it has a Ryzen, but what kind of Ryzen do I have over here? Ryzen 3200G. Okay. It has Vega graphics, which I'm guessing not too bad for like a business PC, whatever. So it's not too bad. Although look at this, 8 gigs of RAM. No. Come on, if you're running with don't like 8 gigs of RAM. I'm sorry. If you're running with 11 for that matter. Uh, yeah, balance is not worth it because it's not one of those fake gaming PCs over here. Not one of those like fake gaming PCs over here. Valve's over here because like that doesn't actually be too bad. However, it has a Ryzen 5 3600. Okay, it's a bit of an old speed, but I think it should be so fine. 16 gigs of RAM. Okay, and an RTX 3050. But what? Or at least, how much VRAM does it actually have? However. Oh, and finally, 1 TB SSD. Although I actually want to see how much VRAM does it actually have. However. There is all snapshot that doesn't look on RTX 4060 inside, which is interesting over here. Okay, not too bad. Although, how much VRAM does the RTX 3050 actually have? 3050. How much VRAM? Doesn't actually say how much VRAM, so it's kind of a coin toss for that matter. Kind of a coin toss. But, oh, it actually does. Yes. Finally a warning over here. What is actually over here? Okay, let's see. Oh no, it's a 6 GB model. Come on, no. Someone's chatting. Pabblo, go to bed, man. Give me PC too. Give me PC, bro. Please. What do you want? What do you want? I mean, yeah, I should go to bed, right? Correct. But I mean, it is like nearly 10 p.m. So I'm actually gonna end the stream soon. But yeah, right. Versus one guy called Polo, who's just nagging me in the whatever. No, not much to really talk about, but whatever. Oh, not too bad. We got 6 views. Ooh, it's actually starting to get some traction over here. Okay. Bad is over here. Okay, anyway, I'm actually gonna end the stream soon. No, don't worry, Polo. I'm going to end the stream soon. Anyway, finally, let's do another PC over here. Okay, Intel Core i7. Is this another old Core i7? Actually, no, it's probably the same thing as before, so whatever. Yeah, so it's a Crucial BX, blah blah blah, so it's whatever. What Core i7 does it actually have, however? Let's actually see. i7, but a 4th gen, okay. Yeah, that's about it, honestly. I'm actually gonna end this right now. Okay, I'm going to end this right now, so, anyway, that's it. I'm Pabblo, and I say goodbye to all of you. Have a good day, or I guess night, everybody.